This is the battle of the titans. The flagship phones from Apple, Samsung, and Google go head-to-head in this camera comparison. Apple and Google have made some big improvements to their cameras in the latest models, while the Galaxy S24 Ultra has been out since January. Can Samsung's cameras still hold their own against the brand new iPhone 16 Pro Max and Pixel 9 Pro XL? Let's find out. Hey, I'm Olive, your host here at Versus.com, and we'd like to thank HBADA for sponsoring this video. Now, without further ado, let's dive in. First, let's take a quick look at the camera specs on each device. The iPhone 16 Pro Max has a 3-camera setup, a 48-megapixel wide lens, a brand new 48-megapixel ultra-wide lens, and a 12-megapixel telephoto lens with 5x optical zoom. And on the front, we find a 12-megapixel camera. The Samsung Galaxy S24 Ultra has a 4-camera arrangement, a 200-megapixel wide lens, a 12-megapixel ultra-wide lens, a 10-megapixel telephoto lens with 3x optical zoom, plus an additional 50-megapixel periscope telephoto lens with 5x optical zoom. On the front, just like on the iPhone, we can find a 12-megapixel camera. Finally, Google Pixel 9 Pro XL has a 3-camera arrangement, a 50-megapixel wide lens, a new 48-megapixel ultra-wide lens, and a 48-megapixel telephoto lens with 5x optical zoom. On the front, we find a brand new 42-megapixel lens. Autumn has peaked in Berlin, so we spent a day out and about testing all 3 devices. Let's see which one came on top. Keep in mind that points are awarded on a scale of 1 to 5, with 5 being the best. So, as always, we'll start off with standard wide photos, as we feel that's the mode people use most frequently. In this very first set, the Pixel delivers the best photo, accurately capturing the scene. The iPhone comes in close second with slightly overlifted shadows and a lack of saturation, but it's still pretty decent. The Galaxy performs the worst, struggling to capture detail in my face and leaning too heavily into green undertones. Next, the iPhone and Pixel perform almost identically with excellent control of the highlights on the building and the shadows on the chairs. While the Samsung handles the shadows in the foreground well, it does blow out the highlights on the building's facade as well as on the trees. In this third set, the iPhone definitely does the best job indoors, perfectly controlling the white balance and delivering an excellent photo. Samsung comes in second with a cooler, toned image, while the Pixel struggles with white balance, producing a photo with an overly cold temperature. So now let's move on to a few ultra-wide examples. Ultra-wide mode is really good to get more of the scenery into your photos. In this first set, all 3 photos look quite similar with accurate white balance and exposure. However, the Galaxy introduces significant noise in the dark areas, while the iPhone and Pixel manage this more effectively. Next, while the Pixel is slightly underexposed, it still produces a true-to-life photo in this early evening shot. The Galaxy also performs well with a brighter image, but it suffers from overly lifted shadows, particularly noticeable on the tree leaves. The iPhone performs the worst, overexposing the subject and reducing saturation too much, resulting in a washed-out photo. Moving indoors, Samsung delivers the most balanced image without overexposing it, though it does introduce some noise in the dark areas. The Pixel has better noise control, but could use a bit more exposure, hence it comes in second place. Meanwhile, the iPhone introduces excessive noise not only in the dark areas, but also in the highlights, and it suffers from noticeable green undertones. Now let's take a moment and talk about our sponsor for this video, HBADA, who kindly sent us their E3 Pro ergonomic office chair. HBADA has been focused on ergonomics for over 12 years, using advanced tech and materials to help improve your well-being, whether you're at home or in the office. Assembling the chair is pretty easy, as most parts are pre-assembled. You may have noticed that sitting for long hours at the office can cause lower back pain, but this chair is highly effective in easing any soreness. It features a custom T-shaped support system that helps eliminate discomfort during long periods of sitting by supporting your neck, waist, and shoulders. The 3-zone elastic lumbar support has floating wings that rotate 40 degrees to fit your body, and the headrest offers 2-way adjustability for effective neck support, whether you're sitting up or reclining. The foldable armrests are also great for relaxing the shoulders, so whether you're in a meeting or just relaxing reading a book. HBADA's chair is built with alloy steel and breathable mesh, offering a comfy and supportive experience. And for those moments when you just want to kick back, the chair reclines up to 140 degrees, which makes it perfect for relaxing between tasks or simply for taking a quick nap. Be sure to check the link in the description to grab one for yourself. It's now time for portrait mode, one of my personal favorites. Let's see which one of these can make the photo look like it really comes out of a professional camera. In portrait mode, the Pixel delivers an excellent photo with great white balance and exposure control. The iPhone, as is often the case, leans too much towards green in its white balance, while Samsung introduces blue undertones in this scenario. As always, we love to conduct a sneaky blind test and see which photo you guys would vote for if no brand names are visible. 51% of the total votes went to the iPhone, 25% went to the Pixel, and finally 23% went to the Galaxy. Personally, here at Versus, we believe both the iPhone and Pixel deliver strong photos, but for different reasons. The iPhone excels at edge detection but struggles with color balance, while the Pixel nails the color balance but has issues with edge detection. Unfortunately, the Galaxy struggles with both, placing it last in this round. In this next case, all three devices deliver great results, however they all struggle with edge detection, so we're calling this one a draw. Choosing the best really does come down to personal preference. When you're choosing a smartphone, video quality is super important. So let's take some videos and see which one of these gives us the best results. When switching to video, the iPhone offers the best rendition of this challenging scene with the sun positioned directly behind me, delivering accurate colors and correct white balance even when sunlight hits the lens directly. The Galaxy produces a similar video to the iPhone, but with a slightly inaccurate, cooler tone. The Pixel, while having an even colder color balance than the Galaxy, is the only one that recovers color saturation when the sun is directly behind me. Moving indoors, while not perfect, the iPhone delivers the best video with stable footage and good color saturation. The Galaxy surprisingly produces a video with noticeable camera shake, even though there isn't much movement in this scene. The Pixel handles stabilization better but ends up with a very desaturated video. Moving to ultra-wide video, all three phones perform similarly well, however each has its own shortcomings. The iPhone leans too much into green undertones, Samsung introduces strange artifacts on the ground, and the Pixel slightly crushes the shadows, so we're calling this one a draw. Once indoors, the iPhone performs slightly better than the other two phones, maintaining accurate color balance throughout the entire video. The Galaxy is a bit underexposed, while the Pixel introduces quite a bit of noise. Good stabilization is crucial to get that buttery smooth video content, so we're gonna conduct two tests. We'll start off with regular stabilization and go for a walk, and then we'll switch to active stabilization and go for a jog. So let's go! When it comes to stabilization, all three phones do an excellent job at keeping things steady while walking at a normal pace, producing a smooth video without visible camera shake. Once we turn the active stabilization on, both the iPhone and the Galaxy perform really well, keeping a clear and stable image even when changing directions. Even though the video looks clear, Pixel's digital stabilization got stuck once we changed directions, never coming back to the center of the frame. Time for some selfies. Selfies are important, guys. So let's see which one of these makes me look best. Also, while I'm at it, I'm also going to test out the front camera video and audio. Switching to the front camera, both the iPhone and Pixel produce excellent photos, handling the bright wall behind me very well. Samsung, however, struggles with the dynamic range, resulting in a photo that lacks contrast and adds too much digital sharpness. In low light, the iPhone captures the most pleasing photo thanks to its automatic screen flash, which is on by default. Samsung and Pixel fall behind, delivering photos that, while decent, could benefit from better white balance. In video mode, the iPhone and Pixel perform similarly, both handling exposure changes well. However, the iPhone delivers a sharper image. While the Pixel offers a significantly wider front camera, it overly smooths my facial features, placing it in second. Meanwhile, Samsung lags behind, struggling with color balance in this bright scene. So now we're gonna test out the audio on all three devices. It's kind of a noisy area, so keep that in mind. Let's see how the noise cancellation is on all of them, starting with the iPhone 16 Pro Max. What do you think? How do I sound? Switching to the Galaxy S24 Ultra. Galaxies are known for pretty good noise cancellation, so what do we think? How's it sounding? And finally, we have the Pixel 9 Pro XL, which has pretty improved noise cancellation abilities. So what do we think? Is it better than the other two though? When it comes to noise cancellation, the Pixel, while slightly muffled, does an excellent job of eliminating distracting background noises. The Galaxy also does a decent job of eliminating background noise, though the results sound noticeably processed. The iPhone, while sounding more natural, fails to reduce background noise effectively, so for these two phones, we will have to call it a tie. You see that clock over there? Well, perhaps not so well right now, but let's zoom in and see which one of these devices captures it best. At 2x zoom, both the iPhone and Galaxy do a good job of preserving detail in the frame, while the Pixel fails to focus, resulting in an out-of-focus shot. At 5x, the Galaxy delivers the most natural-looking image. The iPhone and Pixel fall behind on opposite ends of the spectrum, the iPhone being overly sharpened and the Pixel too smooth. At 10x, both the iPhone and Galaxy start to show signs of over-processing, but they still produce decent images. The Pixel, however, completely struggles to focus, resulting in a fully blurry photo. At 30x, both the iPhone and Galaxy suffer from significant over-processing, making neither image particularly pleasing. The Pixel again has difficulty focusing, falling behind the iPhone and Galaxy. At 100x, none of the photos are especially good, with all three suffering from heavy over-processing. It's worth noting that the Pixel automatically refocused and failed after 10x, even after manually locking the focus distance before taking the shot. Hopefully, Google will address this issue in future updates. Slow motion is not a necessity, but it is a cool feature to have on your smartphone. So let's test it out. When it comes to slowing down time, at 4K 120 FPS, the iPhone does a better job of retaining picture quality and maintaining correct color balance compared to the Galaxy, which blows out the highlights in the sky. The Pixel, while visually pleasing, automatically loses points since it's limited to filming at 1080p. At 1080p 240 FPS, the Pixel takes the lead, doing a great job of controlling exposure in bright areas while delivering rich colors. The iPhone struggles with exposure, while the Samsung completely blows out the highlights and oversharpens the entire scene. Ever wondered what leaves look like under a microscope? Well, we can't see that, but what we can do is take some macro photos. Moving to macro, the iPhone produces the most detailed photo, although we struggled with autofocus while capturing it. The Pixel comes in second, while Samsung lags behind, delivering a blurry image despite multiple attempts to get it right. In this next shot, all three devices do a great job capturing the flower with a pleasing shallow depth of field. The main difference comes down to slight variations in color balance, so choosing the best shot is really a matter of personal preference. One thing worth noting is that we did struggle with the iPhone's autofocus while taking the shot. So finally, let's test out each one of these devices and see how they perform in low light conditions. In this first set, the iPhone delivers the best rendition of this dark scene, producing a bright image, although it does introduce some light noise. Samsung, as in previous shots, overdoes the digital sharpness, resulting in a very artificial-looking photo. The Pixel, while offering the most natural sharpness, crushes the shadows, losing detail in areas like my hair, and it also struggles with very cold white balance. In ultra-wide mode, none of these photos stand out. The iPhone's image is overly smudged, the Galaxy's is artificially over-sharpened, and the Pixel suffers from completely inaccurate colors. Moving on to portrait mode, the iPhone performs the best in this low-light scene. The Pixel comes in second, but once again struggles with very cold white balance. Galaxy finishes last with its overly artificial-looking photo, even creating a strange halo effect on the leaves behind me. When filming with the main lens, the iPhone, though not perfect, takes the lead by striking a good balance between noise reduction and color balance. The Galaxy, while offering more accurate colors, delivers an overly smooth video that lacks detail. The Pixel performs the worst, producing a desaturated image with a lot of noise. Switching to the ultra-wide lens, the Galaxy outperforms the other two phones, delivering the better video, though it's still not perfect. The iPhone's footage is overly smudged, while the Pixel struggles with excessive noise and completely desaturated footage. Alright, let's do a quick summary and see who the winners are. Our scoring system is based on order of importance, therefore in categories such as wide, ultra-wide, portrait, and videos, we have a higher percentage, whereas in less important categories such as audio, zoom, slow motion, and macro, the percentage is lower. For photos taken with the main camera, the iPhone scores the most points. In ultra-wide shots, both the Galaxy and Pixel perform equally well. In portrait mode, the Pixel takes the win. When it comes to video, the iPhone continues to show its superiority, winning this round. For stabilization, the iPhone and Samsung are tied for first place. In front camera photos and videos, the iPhone comes on top, however in audio, the Pixel leaves the other two devices far behind. In zoom, the Galaxy scores the highest. For slow motion, the iPhone comes out on top. In macro, the iPhone again performs the best, and finally, in low light, the iPhone wins once again. So after counting all the points, we can confidently say that the iPhone 16 Pro Max is the overall winner of this camera comparison. Woohoo! The Pixel comes in second, while Samsung finishes in third place. We're curious to know which one of these devices is your favorite and why, so please let us know in the comments below. And before you go, be sure to give this video a big thumbs up if you enjoyed it, and make sure to subscribe as we are always testing out new devices to help you decide what is best for you. Links to all of the devices mentioned in this video can be found in the description below. We'll see you in our next video, and until then, take care.